Hello folks, this is continuation of previous video. So previous video we seen how to use the JavaScript to get the element ID. I think last video we ended up just added the increase pixel function. It increase, but look at that, the decrease is not working because we haven't completed that the function. So I just added the function called decrease image and same thing. So let's go and create another function called decrease image, and let's see what's happening. So I'm gonna just do the same thing. So what we're going to do, document dot get element by id. So what's the id here? Is the same header image. We're going to capture that and add style is equal to. So let me just increase the size and width. So the height is going to be maybe 200 and width is 300. I save that. Let's see what's happening. Increased, decrease. So now it looks work. So it looks really good. So now we've seen how we can take the property of image. Let's take another example. I'm going to define a paragraph. Let's say a paragraph. We will see how we can change the value of paragraph. Learning JavaScript. So let me add this one. Okay, so now let me create a input. Okay, so input type is input type, we're going to have text, and let me close this one. Let's see. So now we got it. Let's create another button. What's the button name? Change value. Let's say button change p value. So I got a button here. So what I'm going to do, whatever I type here, it should change the paragraph value here. Right now it won't do anything because you have nothing here. Let's see how do we use the JavaScript to change the value here. So whatever you type here, it should go here. Okay, so what you need to do, when you click this button, there should be a change fire, or there should be a function should fire to get the value of this button and update in this label. This is very simple and straightforward. Let's see how we can do that. Okay, first thing is, when I click this button, basically when I click this button, already we already implemented on click. You can have on click, on double click. Basically when a single click or double click, you can choose, all up to you. So change p. Okay, it's a user defined function name, so you can define your own name, but the function keyword is static. So what I did, I just create a on click function, and whenever you click this change p value, it will trigger this change p function. So now got it. Now what we have to do is, we need to get this value assigned to this particular paragraph value. So first we need to assign what's assigned. So we need to, whenever we assign, we need to have a unique text, right? So let's say create a id. So what's id name? Paragraph. So now I need to get the document dot get element id, not get element paragraph dot inner html. So what is this inner html? Is actually the value inside the paragraph. So we are going to change the value inside the paragraph. That's why it's change it. So let's say changing, just how hard coding we'll assign later. Let's see what's happening. When I click this, see, whatever default value I given is just working. Now what I have to do is, I need to get the value from this text box. So how do I get this text box? what you have to do is same process. But do you have something for text? Because you do have input, but there is no ID because you need to define ID to get unique value. So text value. Okay. So now you need to copy this. You're going to put this get the document dot get. So what's the element get? Element by ID. So what is the ID here? ID is text value dot again the inner HTML. But here we cannot use inner HTML because this is a value of text box. Let's say value. Okay, I just saved this. Let's see what will happen. So I type hello. Look at that, it works really good. So this way you can capture the value of particular action and assign to different component. So let me just go through once again. Let me zoom a little bit. um, how do I do this? So what I have done is I just created the first you need to create define the ID. The reason for ID is how do we identify the specific tag, because you can have a number of paragraph in your website, right? So if you want to change everything you can use a different tag, but if you want to change specific paragraph you need to use the specific ID. It should be unique ID you created. And what you have done is when you create a button, when you click the button you need to fire something. So we have on click. So on click get fired when you click the button in the website. When you click that it fires, it calls the change gp function. It goes here. What it does, it just get the paragraph, this paragraph ID, because we are going to assign value for this ID, and equal to document get element by the text value, the text value. So how do we know the text value is we already defined the id text value. So you get the text value and assign back to the paragraph whenever you click this button. So whenever you click this button it get fired, it get the latest value and assign to this particular label. Let me do a refresh again, do it. Hello, I'm here. Change value. Good. So whenever you, it's a real time. Let's me again. Hi, how are you? See, whenever it's dynamic, whenever you click, it takes the latest value. And let's see, increasing picture works good, decreasing picture works good. So now you understand the basic how you can get the value of component in the for JavaScript and assign to different value, because this is the most frequently used kind of the functionality where you get the value from one tag and assign to other tag through JavaScript. And also we've seen how we can change the style property of a particular tag, which is image tag, and how did it change. It's almost similar. So let me tell you this simple way. You always document get element id is same and you get the id of paragraph. Then you when you type dot you can get the value of any sort of, for example, p, right? Let's say p. So what are the property coming down the drop down? Pretty much you can use that. Let's say this all property you can use to access from the document. So document dot this one, for example, style, because I can get style, for example. You can get the class but you can get the style, because style we use to assign value. For example, I can use style here, right? I can assign, I can even type with. But what we're trying to do, we're trying to get the style of this p and assign the value. It's very simple. I hope now you learn the basic of JavaScript, and next video we will learn how we can use the variables, how we can use the mathematics function, how we return the value and assign to another value. Thank you all for watching. We'll meet next week. I mean, sorry, next video.